I know we're halfway through April, but I gotta keep up the tradition. Hello everybody, my name is Jesse and welcome to my channel. Today, I know we're pretty much halfway through April now, but I have a sort of tradition, a video that I do every single month where I talk about the top 5 best movies I watched in that month. I just haven't had a lot of time to do my video for March, so today I'm finally getting around to that. I'm going to give you my top 5 favorite movies that I watched in the month of March 2025. Starting with number 5, I have Black Swan. This was a movie, I had heard a lot about it, I had heard good things, and so I finally got around to it, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was decent. Darren Aronofsky has never been really one of my favorite filmmakers. I think his films are just a little too obscure for me a lot of the time, but I did find myself enjoying this movie. I couldn't help but notice a pretty big similarity between this and Whiplash, which is kind of funny because this came out 4 years before Whiplash. But just the fact that they kind of had a pretty similar plot, this protagonist that has an obsession for their craft and a ruthless instructor, and they're doing everything that they can to prove that they are the best and to take what they think they rightfully deserve. They will stop at nothing to get what they want. Natalie Portman does a great job in it. You can definitely feel Darren Aronofsky's weird, obscure style in this film. It's definitely my favorite of his that I've seen thus far. I think everything was pretty well done. Number 4, I have Heretic. This was a film that came out last year that I was really excited for and just didn't get around to seeing it in theaters, so I finally watched it on Max. It was started streaming finally in March, and I absolutely loved this movie. It might have been one of my favorite movies of last year had I been able to see it. Hugh Grant is phenomenal in it. He's playing a more villainous role than he usually plays, which I love. And just everything right from the get-go, it sets up this very eerie tone. You're uneasy, uncomfortable right from the start, and it doesn't let up through the entire thing. The script is extremely well written, very smartly written. Not only do they make some very valid points, all of the characters are extremely well written, but the way that they are able to set everything up, there are several lines that are delivered very early in the movie that lead to certain things that will come back, and the foreshadowing was pretty well done. And overall, I absolutely loved. The standout for this movie was Hugh Grant, 100%. I hope he does more roles like this because he absolutely nailed it. Number 3 for me is The Substance. March was really when I started finally getting around to a lot of the kind of Oscar-nominated movies that I missed out on in 2024. The Substance was one of them. I had been excited to watch it for a really long time. I had heard nothing but good things about it, and it absolutely blew me away. Everything about it was brilliantly well made, well written, well acted. It's genuinely difficult for me to think of any real flaws that I had with this movie. I absolutely loved it. It would have made my top 10 of 2024, and everything about it was incredible. Both Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley give phenomenal performances. They do some really insane things with their roles, and they both play it off phenomenally. The direction and the writing is absolutely amazing. This might be one of my new favorite horror movies I've ever seen. It's super original, super well done, but at the same time, you can see lots of tiny little references to other classic horror movies like The Shining. Pretty early on, I saw several small details and references that were taken from The Shining, which I loved. The sound design is absolutely amazing. It has like every tiny little thing. It has you listening so closely. You're absolutely locked in right from the start. I haven't seen enough people talking about the editing in this movie. I thought the editing was absolutely amazing. The way that they would quickly flash little signs, like the warning signs that they had seen. I loved how they did that. And of course, the thing that everybody was talking about with this movie was the makeup and the special effects. And my God, they were absolutely amazing. Some of the craziest makeup and special effects I've seen, not just for a horror movie, probably for any movie. I can't imagine how much work, how many hours of work went into making every aspect of this film. It was amazing, especially that third act. I won't spoil anything, but the third act was absolutely crazy. I can't believe they pulled that off, and it was so unsettling, so disturbing. It totally works for what this movie was. I completely understand why it won the Oscar for Best Makeup. I think it was completely deserved, and I cannot wait for Coralie Fargier's next film, whatever it may be. My runner-up is A Real Pain, another 2024 movie that I was really excited for. Didn't get around to it until last month, and I loved it even more than I expected to. I really love Kieran Culkin. I love him more every single time I see him in anything. I think he's a fantastic actor. He can do drama, he can do comedy. He's so good at both, and he does both very, very well in this film in particular. I've never been the biggest fan of Jesse Eisenberg, but I can appreciate him a lot more after seeing this. I think his direction and his writing in this movie was really well done. I can't wait to see what he does with his next film. The movie absolutely flies by. It's only an hour and 30 minutes. There was one scene in particular, and I paused it for just a second, and there was only 27 minutes left. I was like, oh my God, we're already an hour into this movie. It just super quick, which is great. And one thing that I especially appreciated about this film is, from the title alone, A Real Pain, you kind of expect Kieran Culkin's character to be more hateable of a character. And to be fair, he does have his moments where you almost roll your eyes a little bit. You're like, dude, just stop. But it doesn't go nearly as far as you think it will, which I really appreciated. They could have made him way more of a pain in the ass than he really was, and I loved it. I think that it was really well written. It pushed the boundary just enough to get the point across, but it also wasn't too much, which I think was really well done on both of their parts. But number one for me is Fight Club. I can only say a couple things about this. I think this is one of David Fincher's best movies. It's my second favorite from his. One of my favorite Brad Pitt characters ever, and everything about it is so well made. It's super rewatchable. I love this movie, and I just think it's incredible. So I'm not going to say too much because I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but Fight Club is my favorite movie that I watched in March 2025. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 favorite movies I watched in the month of March 2025. I haven't watched a whole lot of movies so far in April, but the ones that I have watched I really loved and I'm excited to talk about. So until then, until my next video, like this one, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching movies.